What's up, guys? Buckeyes, coffee, Bucks and Brew. Good morning, Buckeye Nation. Welcome back to another episode of Ohio State Football with Scarlet and Great, the Bucks and Brew edition. Thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about Ohio State naming Kyle McCord the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. Going forward, real quick, before we get into that, can I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new subscribers from Buckeye Nation today? One of the cool things about doing the show is we constantly are meeting new people, talking to new people, getting a reach to new Buckeye fans. So I would love to, if we can get your subscription, free Buckeye content throughout the season and off season. That's our commitment to you. So go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And one thing I like to do, as always, roll call. Please comment your location. Let me know where you're watching from. I love seeing, oh man, we went international the other day. We were a few people watching from different countries. I love seeing the small towns in Ohio and then, the Buckeyes that are sprinkled all around the country. So comment your location, where you checking in from. All right, guys. Here we go. Kyle McCord, all gas, no brakes, moving forward. About time, right? It's about time we can kind of look at as Buckeye Nation and say, okay, this is the direction we're going, and let's go. This is where we want to go, and let's take the team that way. I think, listen, that's what this team has needed. I think you could have done this 3-4 weeks ago, but Ryan Day, for whatever reason, felt that competition would breed excellence. We reported, 3-4 weeks ago that Kyle McCord was going to be the starter. And then, it came out that it's neck and neck, yada, yada. It got, the offseason reports got so intense that I almost started to doubt what I felt like I knew. And, we all know certain things, if you're entrusted with some things you just can't share, or else people are going to stop entrusting you things. But I felt like I just knew that was going to be the case. But then I started doubting, honestly. The offseason reports got so strong, and I was like, no. And then towards the end, come on, you knew, we knew. We knew Kyle McCord is going to be the guy. We doubled down on that prediction then, and it ended up coming true. I think you can look back and see it was always going to be the case. Ryan Day, though, for whatever reason, thought that there is advantages to making both guys compete a little longer. And nothing wrong with that, I suppose. Brings out the absolute best in both of them. I think that this team could have gotten going earlier instead of switching back and forth. Most people are in agreement. The good thing about this is, and I think that Devin Brown will be a fine player when his time comes. The good thing about it is that the team knows the direction they're going in, and we can call plays. We can have continuity. We can kind of be a little bit more aggressive, just picking a guy and going with it, right? Picking a guy and going with it. And that's what this team feels like it's needed on offense, right? It feels like it's needed to, the possessions are limited, right? So it feels like, with the new clock rule, feels like we need to just go pick up, hammer down, have an identity, have a quarterback, have a leader, and go with it. And it seems, when you're looking over your shoulder, getting the offense out of rhythm, changing back and forth, it breaks up the game plan, the flow of the game for the players, certainly for the quarterbacks. Very little. I maintain both Devin Brown and Kyle McCord would have been better players if they could have gotten, all the snaps. And now that's what Kyle gets to have going forward. I think that's huge. Against Western Kentucky, I don't know that we'll see the whole playbook. We're not going to show Notre Dame everything. But I think that the offense can hum a little more. Again, you may not expect 50 points because we may not expect 50 points because of the new clock rules and limited possessions, and a lot of teams just kind of play and keep away. I do expect that to get a little better. Western Kentucky actually seemed to pass it around and be more aggressive on offense. So moving forward, you can get Kyle McCord under center. He can drop back. He can make his plays. He can make mistakes. I would also, and he didn't have to look over his shoulders. I would also like to see maybe pick a star running back and go with him. In my opinion, it needs to be Chip Trayanum as your every down back. I still want to see Travion. I still want to see him in the little swing pass we saw the other day. I still want to see him, break up the monotony with a different change of pace and run. I still want to see him, get certain things shoot. I'd even love to see some end arounds. That end around we run to Buka, run that to Trey. That would be awesome. And I just think there's a lot of different things we can do with these backs. But I would love to see the continuity of we got our starter, we got our guy, now let's get our 1A quarterback and 1A running back and just go. We've had our feeling out process. We've had this, what's going to work, what's not going to work. So now I feel that it's time that Buckeye Nation we have identity. The team has identity. We know what we need to do going forward. Kyle McCord needs to make improvements, although I maintain he's been a lot better than some people say. And get kind of that Ohio State quarterback standard back up to where it needs to be. And the receivers, again, can kind of understand what's going on. They've honestly not been playing their best games. So I think that we can just push forward. Ryan Day doesn't have to say, hey, who does this guy, what plays we get here, what plays we get there. Just all in, one guy, one mission, and that's what this team is needed is, again, continuity, explosiveness, identity. All these things I think get better on. Some things I'd like to see McCord continue to work on, pushing the ball down the field. I don't mind a check down, especially when that's the progression and that's the play call. And when that's all there is there. I'd rather get the free 4 yards, and especially with his offensive line. I'd rather get the free 4 yards and move on. But, of course, you don't want it all the time. But I would like to see him improve on that. And just timing with it seems like it just continuity with the receivers. The other thing I'd like to see him work on, and again, I want to hear from you, Buckeye Nation. Can you comment below one small improvement you want from Kyle McCord? Let's be realistic, right? I say small because I'm talking about next game. What baby step do you want to take forward? Progression happens in steps. Although I could see a big leap, meaning that there's continuity and everything on offense now, but one small thing you want to see improvement on going forward. Mine, pushing the ball down the field, which I think got better the second week. Maybe it would get even better this week. And timing with the receivers. It seems like Kyle picks to throw to spots. He can see the defense that, the receivers may not be able to see, right? They have their back to the defender. They're looking at the quarterback. Kyle seems to like to pick spots that may not be exactly what was on the route tree, just a little inside, a little outside, a little high, a little flat, just to get the ball away from the defense, right, and lead the receiver in the right direction. Getting that feel between he and the different receivers, I think, is going to be key. That's going to be huge. So those are the improvements I want to see. I think Buckeye Nation can get his first 40-point game of the season. Again, I temper my expectations because of the new clock rules and limited possessions. But with a starting quarterback and an identity and continuity, I think that Ryan Day can be a little bit more aggressive. I think the team should be more aggressive, more assertive overall, and we can climb to a pretty awesome victory on Saturday. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next time. As always, goodbye, God bless, and go Bucks.